Hello everyone, The Honest Collector here to give you the truth on the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Detective Comics number 27, Batman action figure. First off, I want to go over the box. It's your standard box here, and then on the side, Batman, nothing on the top, Batman, Detective Comics number 27, and then on the back, Batman, McFarlane Toys, the Detective Comics, number 27, May 1939, all that cool stuff here. I wanted the special edition where it came with like the blue hands and the shading, but I obviously didn't end up getting that one. So I was pretty content with this one. I didn't need it, in my opinion. 10 cents, wow. So you have all the stuff on here, which is pretty cool to see. I don't have any of the actual comics or any reprints of it, so unfortunately I can't just go and compare it side to side, but the box is pretty cool. And let's get on to the actual figure itself. So I believe this is on the Three Jokers Batman, and I think some of it's like also the Hush. And I remember on my J Motion Pictures channel, I ripped this figure to shreds, the Three Jokers Batman. I ripped that figure to shreds, and I got a lot of hate for it. People were telling me I don't know what I'm talking about, all that stuff. And it's because it was like they were saying that it was the best Batman they released. But like that doesn't mean it's good. It just means it's the best out of the worst. So that doesn't hold a lot of weight to it. Now, this figure, they kind of retooled it. They redid some things, and it's still a little janky in some areas, but I really, really like it. And before, he couldn't even like crunch any bit low. Like I know he can barely do that, like barely really crunch here. And this is more of an articulation thing, but I just want to get this out of the way first. Like the original one couldn't do that. And the arms were popping off so easily. This one doesn't. Like it actually has some strength to it, and the butterfly joints are nicely moving. Like it's very different. It's a very different feeling than that other figure. The arm was popping off on me. If I tried putting the arms too close together, they stuck out like this all the time, and the legs were horrible. It was like completely rolled out like this, but it just didn't look right. And it was really bad, and I did not like it. I gave out my opinion, and people hated it so much that they went crazy. So that was like my first time actually seeing backlash on that, which I think is very interesting because I love talking about these things, what people like, what people don't like, and this figure is definitely an improvement, and it's actually a lot of fun. On my Instagram, my J Motion Pictures Instagram, I posted a whole posing pictures of this figure. I even at the end of the year of school, like nothing was going on, I brought it to class because all my friends were into this stuff. So this definitely, I'm not going to have the memories kind of weigh my opinion, but I actually had a lot of fun with this figure, and I think it definitely is worth to be talked about. Getting him in that like, nice silhouette pose here, that's pretty cool. It's really just gray plastic, but it's not as shiny at all. It's a lot more matte. The Three Jokers Batman had like, I think, what was this, also the Hush figure too? It was like it was a weird combination. Now this still is way too wrinkly, and that isn't, although there are more wrinkles on it to kind of make it seem like it's put together a little more. So I don't mind that, and the wrinkles kind of line up, so I can take that. The chest is not too massive. It's like a decent size. He does have a little too much of a small chest. Now, thankfully, with these butterfly sockets, it kind of makes it protrude out a little more, but it still just looks like the pecs are too squared off, and there's no real chest to him. So it would look better if it was a more broad out, but I don't think it's the worst thing, especially with this cape adding that thing to it, that presence. But yeah, so it's passable, but it's definitely something that could be worked on. The Bat logo is very cleanly done, and I like how that's done. It's very simple. The head sculpt is also pretty good. On some, he's pretty pale, and he kind of looks really pale under certain lighting, but I still think it looks really good. It's not like I'm just giving it a pass. I think it actually is good. I will get onto this weird head joint later, but so far, looks-wise, it's not bad. It's just if you want him to actually look straight, there is going to be a gap in that neck here. Although it is black, so like it's not gonna, they're not like different colors contrasting. but you can actually fit like a whole thing in there. It's a pretty large gap. So nonetheless, that is something to note. But yeah, so everything else looks pretty good. It's pretty much just plastic. I think the belt is painted, the Bat logo is painted, and there's obviously nothing on the back, but it definitely looks good. It's exactly what it needs to be. This cloth cape, I love it. And I'm not a big fan of this type of material. I like that more spongy cloth that this re-release of the Action Comic Superman has. But this bendy wire is done way better than that new Dick Grayson Batman that they did. It's like this one of the Sons of Batman like comic runs where they gave him the bendy wire cape. I'm gonna go get it now to do a demonstration. So this Batman has been sitting in my bin, and you can see it just looks all folded and messed up. It's super difficult to try and get this cape to look tame and relaxed, and it's always protruding out. And it's one of my biggest problems is that it's super difficult to work with, and it makes it not fun to work with. Man, I love this Batman body. This is such a good sculpt for it. But gosh, this it's just so it's difficult to move. Like you can see it's stretching around the actual bendy wire itself. The bendy wire is way more thick and harder to move. It's heavier. It's just it's not a pleasant feeling. Okay, I just knocked that over. This is so look at that. You could do it this way. This is actually a nice bendy wire cape. It still holds up really nicely while being so light and not having too much. Look, I can just thin it out like that. You put it down. It's not protruding out too much, and it's not wrinkling that much either. It's not a mess. I think there's A, too much cape, and B, it's just the bendy wire is not executed right because it's too thick, it's too heavy. But this was done really nice, although I do always wish that we could go for something like this. I think this is the best one, although mine did kind of break there, but I think this is the best one. No super loud noise either, which that's not an actual complaint. I don't care about the noise. But yeah, it's just the feeling is way better for this, but this is also not bad, and I was able to excuse it for being this type of material. So yeah, this is definitely really cool. And if we have to have bendy wire capes that may have this type of texture or whatever like that, but are still able to be kept at the $20 to $22 price point, they're doing it right. They're doing it right. But there definitely are gripes about this figure that I have, which I will get onto, because I don't want to just completely say that this thing's amazing, because it's not. You have the chest issue, you have the wrinkles issue on the lower torso compared to the top half, and also he is way too damn tall. This is the first introduction of Batman, and he is super tall compared to Superman. I think he is legit almost towering over Superman, which just shouldn't be. It's really weird. Even let's see this Batman, let's see how he stands with him. I know this is more for scaling and kind of all over the place, but he's even a little taller than him. And I get it, it's the Dick Grayson Batman, but I just still this Batman is just too tall, too big. If they kind of shrunk him down a bit and still kept the broad chest or whatever, I think it would have looked great. I know they want to obviously do this 7-inch scale, but it's not fitting in with the other figures. It's looking really weird, especially next to some Robins and stuff. But I just to kind of bring this figure back down to earth a bit. All right, so for the accessories, first off, we have this tool. I don't actually know what it's called. I just know that he uses it in one of the comics, I think, to get out of a glass thing, I'm pretty sure. So this is pretty cool to have that it's actually used in the comics. Here we have the standard punching hands, then we have two posing gesture open hands, which I believe this was actually for the the vampire Batman for the deceased line. And then just these flat hands, which are really wrinkly compared to the others, which is super weird. The fingers just look a little too fat. So that's odd, but I'm definitely still glad that we have these. They're not really, are they karate? Are they karate chopping hands? I don't think so. They look more relaxed, but either way, they can serve both of those uses. So that's pretty cool. So those are the accessories we get. Oh wait, no. And we also have the standard DC display stand. And let me get it from my stack of cards. Let's let's see, which one is it? It's this one right here. So for here, we have the Detective Comics card, which I love these things. I love these trading cards. As you can see, I've kept all the ones from all my other figures. So yeah, this is pretty cool. I like this a lot, especially because it's, again, from the Detective Comics there. So putting that back to the stack. So yeah, that's pretty cool. And the stand I'm actually okay with having. I don't mind it, especially for figures like these that need to be stood up. It's not that bad to me. I don't mind them. But yeah, so now going on to the articulation. His head only looks up this high. Why would they do that? Why would they make the cut at the neck? If anything, just do both. Just give us both, or just give us the same system that we've been having, which is just the dumbbell joint at the head, so we can have all that nice range that I always praise McFarlane for doing. Look, he has a lot of tilt, but he could have had a lot of tilt and looking up a lot too. And again, it would have solved this huge gap issue. So that I don't like. Obviously, that bendy wire cape, I guess this goes into articulation, sure, but it's great. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's not breaking on me either, no matter what I'm doing to it, so we're good. And then for the arms, you got that butterfly socket, which is very loud, but it definitely works quite a bit, and it is useful. And then arm moves up this high, which is good. Then you have that bicep swivel, which on the other one, the bicep swivel didn't work because they didn't cut it properly. This time it does, and it's really good. Double jointed elbows, no problem. Then you have the wrist balls here, which I always prefer over those Hasbro style hinges. NECA also does that as well sometimes. But yeah, so for the torso, he twists at the top here, no problem. And using both joints, because I'm not even going to try and do it with just one, he crunches down this much, which isn't really much, but for posing, it actually does help a bit. And of course, he's going to go back way more. He has a pretty big gap. I don't think these two torsos are as compatible as they're putting it out to be. But yeah, it's like, okay, let's see. If we do the reversed method, I guess it actually could work. Right, guys? It just looks weird. Got to stop making excuses for why they can't properly engineer what they're selling. But, so yeah, that's pretty cool. You have moving from side to side is good. It really is just crunching forward that for some reason they don't give us. And then moving out the legs full, almost full splits, good enough. Kicking up this far with just stretching it a little bit and then stretching it a lot, you get that regular, like, actually that's not even 90. Guys, that's not even 90. That's like really pushing it. This will definitely tear over time if you keep it like something like that. But yeah, for those quick poses, then yeah, I guess you could get away with it. The double jointed knees, not proportionate at all. That leg is almost hitting his upper back. And that's not good at all. It should line up with the butt. So yeah, I mean, it works really nicely. It just doesn't look that great. So yeah, and then you have the ankles, which aren't too heavily ratcheted at all, actually. They have quite a bit. So up and down, ankle pivot, you have the actual ball on the ankle so you can twist it as well. And then you have the toe articulation, which works really, really nicely, and it doesn't look too ugly. Not too ugly. And I'll definitely take it. I always love toe articulation. So, yeah. I think that's how far back he kicks that far back. And I completely forgot to do a thigh swivel because I swear, like, these figures just are allergic to it. He's, like, barely has one. Not enough. But I guess if you kick up like that and like, do that, he could, you know, whatever. But, so it's like, so it's nothing too crazy to really mention. But, yeah, so the articulation is passable on this guy. But it could be better, so I don't want to just fully accept it. And ever since... Hold on. Where is it? I actually can't find it. Here it is. Ever since we got this figure... Yes, I am constantly going to talk about this. Ever since we got this figure, why can't you just... Boom. Why can't you do that? Why? That'd be amazing. But no. And also... Why can't... Look, they have a diaper piece, and it's engineered properly. It's engineered so properly, he can kick up properly. You're BatMan. Why can't you do that? Full splits. Sir, why can't you do that? But yeah, so that's why I'm like I'm not budging. I'm gonna be stubborn on this. The articulation is kind of mid, and I don't want to keep excusing it. They definitely did better on that BVS Batman, but I believe that came out after this. But yeah, so no. It's eh. That's where I'm putting it. It's eh. So here he stands next to the Michelangelo Ninja Turtles Return to New York from NECA Toys, and then the NECA Toys Shredder from the Archie comics for Ninja Turtles. And this is what I mean by this Batman is way too damn tall. Why is he towering over Shredder? These are the same scale, I believe. These are the same scale. I mean, that Batman still is towering over. I feel like the only one that would be good is the Rebirth one. But yeah, so that's how tall he stands against those. You're not really going to be able to wedge it in unless you're just showing the turtles. Here he stands too, like next to like your average Spider-Man figure. You got the Ben Reilly on the Renew Your Vows body. So here's how he stands next to that. Why is he so crunched in? There we go. Obviously not in the same scale. Can't try it. Here he stands next to the Action Comics 1000 Superman, the remake or the re-release, and then the Injustice 2 video game Superman. This figure can't really stand that well. I've realized that, so I'm just gonna keep him here. It was like one of my first DC reviews, I think. This Superman, that's interesting. And then I thought it was just cool to put him next to like one of his last canonical suits, because since I guess this is like the end of the Dark Knight, that story. So here's the first and the last, which I think is really cool. He got a lot shorter, but yeah. Here he stands next to the Justice League Zack Snyder cut, The Flash, and the DC Rebirth Reverse Flash here. Here he stands next to the DC Rebirth Deathstroke, which is one of my favorite figures, and I think this is the DC Rebirth, but it's the Lex Luthor power suit. And then I'm just gonna put her here since I have her in my hand. The Shazam Wonder Woman. Gosh, her legs are super bowed out. That is like insane. It's like I love this figure but hate this figure so much. But yeah, so here he stands next to her. And since they just had a crossover recently, here he stands next to the Jakks Pacific Sonic Movie 3 5-inch Shadow. And of course, we gotta end it off with the Sonic Movie 3 Jakks Pacific Sonic the Hedgehog. Alright, so what are my final thoughts on this guy? It's pretty good. It's actually a lot of fun. I think if you see this figure and you're interested, definitely pick it up. A big turnoff for a lot of people are the pink gloves. But if you want to get the purple gloves, and I don't know how much that is. If it's not like too much and you just want it, then yeah, I think you're definitely going to enjoy it. The articulation is, again, acceptable, and it's still able to be posed around a little bit and have fun. Or, it's always going to look good with just displaying it up there. It's definitely good ways to make it look good. But yeah, so I think this figure is actually not bad. I want to give it a 7 out of 10, 7.5, because I think it's just what it needs to be, and it's not bad. It doesn't blow my mind really, but I'm still able to have fun. I think that's what the figure needs to do. So yeah, I mean, $20 price point. I'll give it an 8. I'll give it an 8 because that cloth cape, it adds so much fun to it, and just a whole new level to dynamicy with this figure. So yeah, I'm not disappointed, especially with this price point, and I think that it delivered enough on what it needs to do. Accessories are pretty good. There's not too much that I'm wishing I did have otherwise than the stuff that already came in the package, so I'm pretty satisfied. 8 out of 10. This figure's not bad. If you see it, you should pick it up. So that's going to be it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you've enjoyed, please give this video a like and subscribe, and if you're new, turn on notification bell so you know when I post more videos like this, and so that I can give you the truth on the next figure. Thank you guys again for watching. Spread peace, love, be greater together, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.